So next you want to take a look at your customers' wants and needs. I love looking immediately at your search box to see what people are searching for. But I think it's important to reach out and talk with your customers. What you're searching for is what's interesting to them. Do they care about upcoming shows? Do they attend shows? Do they care, what are they visiting on your website? What information and content do they need? I think surveying your customers' wants and needs should be a driver for your PR strategy and getting things done. Next, I would look at the story within your employees. Your employees are probably your greatest asset. I would hope that everyone would agree. And what are the stories that can come from your employees? Are any of your employees out speaking? Are you recognizing your employees? This is a grab that I took from a HubSpot webinar that is actually creating quite a buzz in the industry right now. Brian Halligan, a colleague and friend and somebody that I respect a lot for the incredible explosive growth over at HubSpot, has really done a fabulous, by the way, I'm speaking with Brian in June. And at a PR Web hosted event, by the way. Thank you, Meg. But he had an interesting vacation policy that they're pitching as part of their press release strategy, and that is to have a vacation policy where it's an unlimited number of days of vacation. And it was inspired by the TV show Mad Men, so you see an interesting release here. But this is a good example of really, I think, a revolutionary way to use press releases in thinking about your company policies and how you treat employees, how you treat customers, and things going on. So look within your employees for the stories that demonstrate your brand commitment to making your company better. Digging into the keyword research is a great way to go. There's a bunch of free tools on idealaunch that you can take a look at, but here are some of the free tools that I highly recommend. SpyFu, absolutely a must tool that you need to look at. Certainly Compete and Quantcast are great tools to see how you're doing versus the competition. There are a lot of great tools out there for harvesting keywords, and I would encourage everybody to take a look at some of the free recommendations you see here. A picture says 1,000 words. When you're sending press releases out, I highly recommend that you try to not only have imagery within the releases that can tell the story very quickly, but you also need to, I believe, begin infusing your brand or your messaging within those images, particularly if you're selecting stock images, which of course everybody is these days. It's hard to hire a photographer and justify the expense, for a press release you're sending out. But here, I took an image. Content marketing is my thing, if you will, and if I had a release that's announcing some new content assets, I might, take our white shirt guy here and the crystal ball in the future and try to get this image out as part of a release I'm sending out. And, using Photoshop is a great way to go to work on your images and infuse your brand within the imagery. An SEO plan is critical. Holistically, you need an SEO plan for your website anyway. You need to begin developing keyword silos. That's the key part of any SEO plan that you put together. And by keyword silos, I really mean saying, okay, here are maybe 50 or 100 keywords that we care most about, but what are the silos for those keywords? What are the topics around those keywords that we could begin creating content about, press releases about? And that's really how you have to look at an overall SEO plan. And naturally, you need to get the releases out and the links in, so an SEO plan tries to give you good strategic advice on what links you want to feature in press releases you're sending out to help support the other SEO strategy on your website on particular pages you're really trying to focus on. So you need an SEO plan and you need to flesh that out. Our SEO staff and editors spend a lot of time creating these releases. The editorial plan is also critical. Here's just one snapshot of some speaking events I have coming up, a snapshot of, you need to be thinking about an editorial plan that covers everything you're going to be featuring throughout the course of the year. Speaking events, content releases, employee news, policy news, new accounts, awards, philanthropic news, anything. You need to begin mapping out these things in the beginning part of your planning process to then build keyword strategy around them, to then infuse imagery around them, and to really bring it all together. So the top of the ninth here, the ninth recommendation in building your whole strategy is to create an optimization plan, which of course includes internal link strategy within releases, etc. But you also need to score your content. You can go to pressreleasegrader.com. I look forward to hearing Meg's thought on that, a HubSpot tool. WordVision is what you see here. We have an ability to score content according to particular keyword silos that I mentioned. You can get a feel for that and learn more about it with a free trial of wordvision.com if you want. It takes a little time to set up, so if you need some help with that, reach out to one of my reps or SEO specialists here. We offer like a 30-day trial, which really ends up being a 60-day trial because we need to show you some results and let you play with it a little bit. But we have a page string tool that's interesting. You can create a press release on any page on your website and just put the URL in along with the keyword phrase that you've optimized that page for, and you can see that scoring. So we've got some other tools in idealaunch. But now, finally, number 10, performance goals. How are we tracking the impact of a press release? Well, let's run through a few of them. So certainly you can look at improved listing positions, and we can get very granular with our WordVision technology and actually look at improved listing positions for particular keyword silos. So if I'm developing a keyword silo on Byron speaking events, I'm going to try to look at how the press releases we've sent out that are using the keywords that we've identified within that silo of Byron speaking events, I can look and see how those listing positions are beginning to achieve top 100 and even top 10 listing positions. So we can get very granular in looking at improved listing positions. And likewise, we can look at increased traffic from releases. We can actually get as granular as quantifying the number of press releases I'm sending out in the course of the month and the potential improved traffic I'm getting from those keywords featured in that release that begin to show me that I'm improving my listing positions that are a direct result of the releases I'm sending out. We can look at repeat visitation and engagement on the site, even for the particular press release pages, and or overall holistically. Are people spending more time on the site now that we're starting to bang out 10, 20, 30 press releases a month? We can look at time on site overall for the release stickiness. We can look at individual pages to see how much time people are spending on pages. Are they just looking quickly at the image and the headline, or are they digging in and reading it? Is it interesting to them? Those are great ways to begin fueling more content for things that people seem to be interested in. We can begin to track the leads that come from the new content. For example, if I send a press release out promoting a new content asset that I created. For example, I've created a product guide, a 2010 content marketing product guide. It's a free download on idealaunch. I send a press release out for that. It starts to get a little traction. Maybe the press release page gets picked up. We start getting more traction to that particular page on our website where that asset is featured. People start downloading that asset because we're using it as a lead gen. So now we're getting some traction on promoting that particular asset and then learning who's downloading that asset. That's all measured in Salesforce, and we're starting to see that release helped us promote that asset that is now becoming a lead that came into our database. So we can use releases to promote assets that end up enabling us to track leads. We can also look at improved conversion rates. We can say, did somebody go read a press release and then take action on our website? Or did somebody download an asset that we did a promotion on and then take action on our website? We can look at increased sales from those leads. So now they're tagged in Salesforce, and now we can look at the leads that were generated from those assets. So here's a little fun case study. If somebody's multitasking and wanted to check later, if you do a search at Google for press release magic, you'll see that the idealaunch page that we optimized that release for is now number 7. Meg and I just concocted this idea like last week and threw it up. We laser focused on one keyword phrase, press release magic, and sure enough, we were able to achieve a number 7 listing in a very short period of time with the help of PR Web. And the press release we sent out, by the way, Meg wrote that press release, nice job. You'll see that we infused, my SEO team infused the press release magic right about in the middle of that release. You can see it. We pointed that link to this page where this webinar was promoted. And after the webinar is done, that sign up for this webinar will change to download a copy of this deck, so it will remain a static page that the press release was able to help us promote. So initially we could promote the page as a sign-up form for the webinar, but that will then switch to a download of the contents for the webinar, which we'll use as a lead gen. So pretty cool stuff.